Hey everyone, this is Nitro. So I'm coming back to the Hugin Munin fight to simply get the final two achievements I haven't gotten, which is Raven Throne to defeat it with 5 Protagonist heroes while obtaining the B grade rank, and Glowing Raven to obtain B rank using at least 5 Legion of Glory heroes. So it shouldn't be too hard to do so, and what I'm actually going to do for both of these fights is to bring characters who all have esoteric slates or overlord badges. My thought there is basically, if I do so, all of my characters will be more or less unkillable because, all my characters will be completely able to ignore the debuffing effects of my opponent. So even in the case of, let's say, Tiaris, for example, I will have her equipped with an esoteric slate, which will have an int enchant on it. So it'll just be a mere level 10, but it'll have an int enchant to buff up her stats a bit. So it's going to be, shall we say, a bit interesting, I suppose, because of the way I'm enchanting for this particular battle. And other than that, the only thing I'm looking at doing is maybe giving her a second breeze item, right? Because that way she can get an extra 5% int. You know? Something like maybe this Charon, if it was level 50, would be perfect. But I'm surprised I don't have that many breeze enchanted gear. So you know what? Let's just give her Imelda's item. Just grab a random item to throw onto her. Good enough. So, although she has less intelligence this way, she can still work for this particular fight. So, you can bring 6 characters, and I'm pretty much going to be bringing, this standard party. Tiaris, Liana, for 2 of them. Then, I suppose, 3 damage dealers. In my case, it's probably going to be Narm, Alustriel, and Matthew for my 3 damage dealers. And then the last spot should be, I guess, a tank to take the hits, which I guess I'll make it Ledin. How about that? So that will be my party. So I guess what I need to find then is a piece of esoteric slate or an overlord's badge for Ledin. And that shouldn't be too hard. I'll just take what I have on Juggler. So that gives him an Overlord's badge. I'm looking at maybe replacing the Fury of Tyr. Whatever. He can run a broken set. At the end of the day, it's not a big deal. It's just a bit of stats drop. But all I'm aiming for is B rank. So it balances out, essentially. So with that, with the gear applied to all the characters, let's begin. So my party is going to be a little bit weird compared to before, right? And it's going to be 3 ranged attackers, Ledin, Tiaris, and Liana. Right. And in terms of skill set, I just want to double check on that before I begin. So, you know what? This should be okay. I mean, I can bring an attack skill, but I'm going to be a little bit lazy and choose not to. Narm, though, should probably bring both Deadeye and Snipe, as well as Roundabout, I guess. So that she can attack and retreat. And then Alustriel will bring 2 attack skills and Roundabout as well. So with this, I think the setup is ready. The last thing I'm looking at would be to maybe move Ledin forward to have him attack the enemy right from the start. So I guess I'll have Ledin bring Burning Sun and Divine Guard. Right, faction buff is of no real use whatsoever in this fight. So is there anything else left to adjust? I don't really think so. And the last thing I need to always make sure is there are not 3. So there can only be 2 characters within range of Hugin and Munin, within 2 blocks of him. Right? That last part is indeed a little bit finicky, but it is what it is. One way you can adjust for that is maybe bring catapults, for example, on Alustriel. because then, in fact, an Alustriel with catapults and Uller's bow can actually attack at 4 range, right? And given Hugin Munin only has 3 range, she could theoretically endlessly attack outside, completely outside of Hugin and Munin's range. Just an interesting point there. Right. So other than that, I think I'm ready to begin now. I'm just trying to make sure I have positions for all my characters for attacking before I get started. So 2 range, 2 range. If I place her here, she is outside of range, so I have to leave her there. And you know what? Let's just run this. The only problem is figuring out how to provide Tiaris' healing light on turn 1 to everyone. I don't think I can. So we'll make do. Last but not least, let's bring heal and prayer on Liana. Just adjusting my skills before I get started. And rather than miracle, I'm going to bring mass heal. Alright, that should be everything at this point. Let's begin. Whole bunch of minor adjustments I had to make before I even get into the fight. That's why I don't really like doing Hugin and Munin or the ancient Beckoning fights in general anymore. There's just too many finicky aspects to it. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to give up on buffing up Alustriel on the first turn, simply because I can only choose to buff 3. And instead, I'll just attack. Ooh! Let me take that back. Because I'm supposed to attack Blessing Narm, not Alustriel. Right. Narm is by far my highest damage dealer in this fight. And if I want to end it as fast as I can, I will just want to maximize damage output. So Narm first, basically. Like so. Liana can move up 3 and buff her, and then she can attack from the wall pile if I so wish. Wait a second. How did Alustriel get debuffed? Oh, I know. The reason she got debuffed is because she only has Esoteric Slate, so she doesn't have immunity to defense reductions, just immunity to attack reductions. Which is fine. I mean, I'm gonna have her attack at 3 range constantly, so it should be okay. But for this first attack, let's have her attack at 2 range. And then retreats. And then Matthew will do a 3 range strike. He can stay here. And finally, I'm going to use Liana to act again. Narm. So that Narm can go for a second hit. I'm just trying to end this battle fast, so maximize damage output is the name of the game here. Alright, so Ledin stunned for a turn basically. In the meantime, I'm going to keep attacking. Let's heal up my characters. And buff them up. And then Narm, let's see. So I guess Matthew will continue to attack where he is. And I'm going to have Alustriel attack at 3 range. And Narm strike right now. And then turn. And finally, why don't I have Liana move up and heal up? Narm and talent heal as well. Pretty much everyone. Alright. So they've split up, and I believe Feats is the one I have to kill first due to his assist skill, which decreases range damage by 300%. So he has to die. For me anyways. Other than that, I think I'm gonna have Ledin Divine Guard to start. And then I feel like I should heal up my characters before they strike. So why don't I prayer up right now? And then I'm going to begin my attacks. So let's start with Matthew. And then have Narm follow up now. And then I need to deal with memory. So why don't I just move Tiaris first though, to heal up my damaged Narm and provide healing light to everyone. And then have Alustriel now attack. Now that I do have 3 ranged attackers, this has become significantly easier. And B rank doesn't take long. All you really need is 1.2 million damage. So once I hit that, I'm already done, and I'm already nearly there. So range attack. Let's have Ledin place himself next to the enemy. But that's after Narm attacks, because she can attack and retreat. So first, let's attack Blessing. Narm. And then have Narm fire away. And retreat. And then Ledin with a melee strike here. And finally, let's act again, Narm, and have her attack one more time. And that's done, right there. So let's just retreat at this point. All I was doing that for was the feat. Yeah. And there we go. So the Legion Glory one is quite easy, you know. Of course, you don't need to run all the esoteric slates and overlord badges like I did. If you have Chris for mass attack, you can very easily bring her to provide the same effect. But the problem with using Chris is that you're going to need her bishop and princess line, and not everyone has her built that way. I certainly don't, and I'm not willing to put in 2 runestones to build her up that way. So that's why I'm doing this strategy instead. So now that I've done the Legion of Glory side, I now need to do the Protagonist side, and so I need to change up my party accordingly. Right? Protagonist characters that I have built would probably be, let's say, Landius, right? Elwyn, Liana and Tiaris are still brought. Matthew is still brought, so that's 1, 2, and 3. I'll use Landius as my tank, so that's number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 will probably be Rachel. And then number 6, I guess, will have to be Elwyn. Because I don't really have another damage dealer built out of these protagonist characters. So let's adjust accordingly. Landius already has an Overlord's badge, so he's fine, right? Elwyn then will take the Overlord's badge from... you know what? Let's take the one from Narm. Right. So he can attack now. So 1 and 2 are ready to go. I'm going to start changing back some of the gear, like Ledin, because I'm going to totally forget otherwise to move it back. Okay. So Liana and Tiaris are already preset from the previous fight. These 2 are ready. And then I just need to configure Rachel, who is going to bring an Esoteric Slate, or one of these, Overlord's badges. But I think if I have an Esoteric Slate for her, that would be preferred, because I have enchanted a bunch of the esoterics with int increases. Right? So these 2 have int increases. 10% int there, and 9% int here. Yeah, whatever. So let's just toss that onto her, since she is going to be attacking. And then Tiaris is going to need an esoteric again. This is so awkward, I have to say. Just finding weird pieces of gear to throw onto characters. It's bizarre. But it saves me 2 runestones that I don't have to put into Chris. So it's well worth doing as a result. So the esoteric is currently on, I think, Alustriel. I think that's where I saw it just now, yeah. Although it doesn't really have an int increase, whatever. It'll work. So, keeping count once again. Landius, Elwyn, Rachel for 3. 4 is Tiaris. 5 is Liana. And then the 6th character can remain Narm as a damage dealer. Hold on, maybe I don't need to bring Elwyn at all. Let me recount this, because you can bring 1 non-faction character. So Narm as a damage dealer, I'm absolutely bringing. And then the remaining 5 is Matthew, Liana, Tiaris, Landius, and Rachel. Yeah, so I don't need Elwyn. Perfect. It was awkward. In the first place, it was pretty awkward trying to figure out how to bring Elwyn, because he's a melee attacker, right? And I just was not sure how I can have him join the melee attacks with everyone else. So I'm glad I don't have to bring him. Okay. So, characters configured. Let's jump back into Ancient Beckoning to get a second B rank battle with now 5 protagonist characters. Just to earn the 200 Trinity crystals. Alright, so with this, I now have the party of characters I want to bring, right? 5 protagonist heroes and Narm. And the final thing I'm going to adjust would be Rachel and Landius, right? So Rachel, for this particular battle, should bring 3 single target strike skills. And Landius, for this particular battle, I don't think he needs Indomitable, so he should probably bring maybe Move Again. And rather than the Resplendent Legends, I feel like maybe bringing Counterattack would be optional, or Iron Helmet would be better to reduce range damage that he could take. No, kind of up to you. You know, this counterattack can increase his attack by 12%, so he can hit harder. But he would only have 1 guard range, whereas Iron Helmet could reduce the damage he takes from ranged attacks. So either method could kind of work. Yeah, up to you, ultimately. I'm gonna run it like this, I suppose. I'm not sure I even need to move again after attacking, but whatever. Let's just run this. So, in the first place, this battle shouldn't take too long because I only need to get to B rank. Right. And this party should work out just fine. So I'm going to start off with Matthew striking before everyone else, because I need to open up a space for Tiaris to provide healing light to some of the others. And in addition, by having him strike first, I can kind of shift him out of the way so that he has enough mobility to move to the tile I want him on, which is the forest tile, to attack afterwards. So yeah, let's just do that. Now, let's have Attack Blessing on Narm. And I'm going to have Landius start by attacking. Then Narm can attack with her Deadeye skill here. And shift back a tile to buff up Matthew's damage. Right, with King's Crown. Let's now have Rachel attack first with, I suppose, I don't know, Dark Reaper for maximum damage. And then act again on Narm and have her do her second strike. Oh, I have 3 characters in range. Careless. That's okay though. I can pray her up and then, you know, get things to continue. So before that though, I think I'm going to move. I want Tiaris to Healing Light characters. So that will be important. I also don't want to trigger. Actually, he's going to die this turn, so I can just move in and heal with no issue. Right. And then I'm going to even pray her up in advance. So everyone is ready to strike. And now let's have Matthew attack. Narm attack. And then Rachel for the finish. So that's halfway there, just like that. And as before, need to kill Feats first. So that will be my priority. Narm starts. Then Matthew. Rachel can attack. Going to have Landius melee here. And then... well, whatever. Everyone else can jump in too. Not like they're going to do any real damage, but at least they can jump in. Oh, Tiaris actually hit okay because of the both rangers. And like that, it's already nearly done. So let's attack blessing. There's a key buff. Int reduction on Landius. Whatever. Just gonna move him back. And we have Narm. Fire away. Because she has roundabout to move back. And then finally, Rachel advances with the Dark Reaper. Almost at the damage level I needed, but not quite. So why don't I just activate Narm for one more hit? That should do it. So full-on YOLO attack there. B rank. I'm going to take an AoE hit, but it doesn't even matter because that just finished the fight for me. And we'll just retreat. The B rank. And battle complete. So there we go. Once again, of course, for both of these fights, if you do have Chris built up with mass attack, she can be replacing, bringing all these weird esoteric slates and overlords badges. But if you don't have Chris built up, once again, you can run this kind of strategy. And there we go. So I now have all the feats for this particular fight. I may look into doing it one more time in the future to get a higher rank. Mind you, I'm already at 5th place, but I'm pretty sure I can get significantly higher. Like, you know, get the value that Dvorak is getting. In any case, though, battle's done, so I'm not going to worry about it for now. You know, I just want to get the fight finished for now, and that's it. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful to you. And on that note, Nitro out.